Three completely different engineering philosophies, three completely different reputations, and one question owners keep fighting about in comment sections. Which of these actually goes the distance? Volkswagen sells the promise of German precision and driving, feel that feels a class above its price point. Toyota sells boredom as a feature, betting that most people would rather have a car that never surprises them. Honda splits the difference, chasing efficiency and clever engineering without Volkswagen's complexity or Toyota's conservatism. Put all three side by side over 150,000, 200,000, and 250,000 miles, and the gap between them stops being a matter of opinion and starts showing up in warranty claims, transmission failures, and what these cars are actually worth on the used market. These three brands also attract very different kinds of owners, and that matters when you're trying to separate real reliability from perception. Volkswagen buyers often come from a background of wanting something that feels more premium than a mainstream Japanese sedan without paying luxury brand prices, and they tend to accept a certain amount of added complexity as the cost of that experience. Toyota and Honda buyers, meanwhile, are frequently cross-shopping each other directly, treating the decision less as a lifestyle choice and more as a practical calculation about which one needs fewer trips to the shop. We looked at engine architecture, transmission history, electrical systems, real high-mileage examples, ownership costs, and resale data across all three brands to settle which one actually earns the reputation for lasting the longest. Engine architecture and how each brand approaches complexity. Start with what's under the hood, because this is where the philosophical differences are most visible. Volkswagen's turbocharged four-cylinder engines, particularly the 1.8T and 2.0T, EA888 family used across the Jetta, Passat, and Tiguan, deliver strong performance for their displacement, but that performance comes from high boost pressure, direct injection, and tight tolerances that ask a lot of the internals over time. Common long-term issues include carbon buildup on intake valves, a byproduct of direct injection systems that don't have fuel washing over the valves the way older port-injected engines did, along with timing chain tensioner wear on earlier EA888 generations that could, in worst cases, lead to catastrophic engine damage if not caught early. Toyota's approach sits at the opposite end of the spectrum. Its 2.5-liter and 3.5-liter engines favor proven architecture over cutting-edge output, using timing chains rather than belts across nearly the entire lineup, and, until recently, avoiding turbocharging almost entirely in its mainstream models. That conservatism costs Toyota bragging rights on horsepower figures, but it buys back enormous reliability, with these engines routinely surpassing 200,000 miles on nothing more than oil changes and standard maintenance. Honda lands in between, though closer to Toyota than to Volkswagen. Its K-Series 4-cylinders and J-Series V6 engines have a long track record of durability, and even Honda's more recent turbocharged 1.5-liter engines, found in the Civic and CR-V, have generally avoided the severe long-term issues that plague Volkswagen's turbo lineup, though early versions of that 1.5T did see documented complaints about oil dilution from fuel contamination in colder climates, an issue Honda addressed through software updates and revised piston rings on later production years. It's worth pointing out that Volkswagen's engines aren't poorly engineered in an absolute sense. They're simply engineered for a different priority. German engineering culture has historically optimized for driving dynamics and outright performance first, with long-term durability treated as something to manage through scheduled maintenance rather than design conservatism. That's a legitimate engineering philosophy, and it produces genuinely excellent driving cars, but it inherently trades away some of the low-maintenance simplicity that defines Toyota's approach, and to a slightly lesser extent, Honda's as well. Japanese engineering culture, by contrast, has historically treated the engine as one part of a larger system that needs to work reliably for the average owner who may never open the hood between oil changes. That doesn't mean Toyota and Honda engineers are less skilled or less ambitious. It means the target they're designing toward is fundamentally different, optimized for consistency across millions of units and decades of ownership rather than peak performance figures on a spec sheet. Transmission reliability across three different approaches. Transmissions might be the single biggest reliability differentiator between these three brands. Volkswagen's DSG dual-clutch automatic delivers genuinely excellent shift quality when new, with rapid, smooth gear changes that feel more like a manual than a traditional automatic. But the mechatronic unit controlling it has been a persistent weak point, particularly in earlier DSG generations, where failures could require expensive replacement of the entire mechatronic module rather than a simple repair. Volkswagen has improved the design over successive generations, and the current DQ381 and DQ500 units are considerably more dependable. But the brand's earlier reputation for transmission trouble still shapes how cautious used car buyers are about older VW products. Toyota's transmissions, by contrast, rarely make headlines, which is exactly the point. Its conventional automatics and CVTs are tuned conservatively and built with wide safety margins, and complaints about shuddering or premature failure are rare enough that they don't define the ownership experience the way DSG problems have defined Volkswagen's. Honda's transmission history is more mixed than Toyota's, but considerably better than Volkswagen's. The CVTs used in the Civic and CR-V have generally proven reliable, though some owners of early-generation CVT-equipped models reported whining noises and, in rarer cases, premature failure outside of Honda's extended warranty coverage that the company offered in response. Honda's traditional automatics, especially in the Accord and Pilot, have a stronger long-term track record than its CVTs, giving Honda buyers a genuine choice between two transmission types with different risk profiles depending on which model they choose. For a used car buyer, this transmission history translates into very different shopping strategies for each brand. With a Toyota, the transmission is rarely a point of concern regardless of model year, so the used car inspection can focus almost entirely on maintenance history and general wear. With a Volkswagen, checking the mechatronic unit's service history and confirming the DSG fluid has been changed on schedule becomes one of the single most important things to verify before buying, since neglect in that specific area is responsible for a disproportionate share of Volkswagen transmission failures. Honda sits in between, where confirming which transmission type a specific trim uses and checking for any recall or extended warranty history related to CVT issues is worth the extra few minutes it takes. It's a small detail, but it captures the broader pattern across this entire comparison. Toyota asks the least of a buyer's due diligence, Honda asks a little more, and Volkswagen asks the most, and that ordering holds true across nearly every category examined here. Electrical systems and the complexity tax. Volkswagen's biggest long-term weakness may not be mechanical at all, but electrical. European market electronics, including window regulators, ignition coils, and various control modules, have a documented history of premature failure in Volkswagen products sold in North America, and the diagnostic complexity of European electrical architecture means repairs often require dealer-level equipment that independent shops don't always have. This doesn't make Volkswagens unreliable in a dramatic breakdown on the highway sense, but it does mean owners deal with more small, nagging electrical gremlins over a typical ownership period than Toyota or Honda owners typically report. Toyota and Honda both benefit here from simpler electrical architectures and, frankly, a longer history of designing for the North American market specifically, rather than adapting a European platform. Neither brand is immune to electrical issues, but the frequency and severity reported by owners consistently favors both Japanese brands over Volkswagen in this category. And it's one of the more overlooked reasons Toyota and Honda maintain lower average repair costs over a vehicle's lifetime. Independent repair shop availability compounds this issue for Volkswagen owners. Toyota and Honda dealerships and independent specialists exist in nearly every city in the country, creating price competition that keeps labor costs down. Volkswagen specialists are less common outside major metro areas, and general mechanics are often more hesitant to take on VW electrical diagnostics without the manufacturer-specific scan tools that European electrical architecture tends to require, which pushes more Volkswagen owners toward dealership service, even for issues that would be a routine independent shop job on a Camry or Accord. Suspension, cooling systems, and wear components. Beyond the headline engine and transmission comparisons, the smaller wear components tell their own story about long-term ownership cost. Volkswagen's suspension components, particularly control arm bushings and sway bar links, have a reputation for wearing faster than the equivalent Toyota or Honda parts, partly because Volkswagen tunes its suspension for a firmer, more responsive feel that puts additional stress on rubber and polyurethane bushings over time. Owners of higher mileage Jettas and Golfs frequently report replacing these components sooner than owners of comparable Corollas or Civics, adding a recurring cost that doesn't show up in most headline reliability rankings but adds up steadily over a long ownership period. Cooling system components follow a similar pattern. Volkswagen's plastic coolant reservoirs, water pumps, and thermostat housings have a well-documented history of becoming brittle and cracking with age and heat cycling, often requiring replacement in the 80,000 to 120,000 mile range even under normal use. Toyota and Honda use similar plastic components in places, but the failure rate reported by owners is meaningfully lower, and when these parts do need replacement, the job tends to be simpler and cheaper on the Japanese platforms due to more accessible engine bay layouts and cheaper OEM part pricing. None of these individual components are catastrophic on their own, and a Volkswagen owner who stays ahead of them with proactive replacement rarely faces a major breakdown because of it. But taken together, these smaller wear items are a meaningful part of why total ownership cost studies consistently show Volkswagen above Toyota and Honda, even in years where no single major repair occurred. It's death by 1,000 small cuts rather than one dramatic failure. And that pattern is exactly what shows up when you total repair invoices across 5 or 10 years of ownership. Real-world high-mileage evidence. Numbers on paper only matter if they hold up against what actually happens on the road. And this is where the gap becomes hardest to argue with. Toyota Camrys, Corollas, and 4Runners crossing 250,000 miles on original powertrains are common enough that owners barely mention it as noteworthy anymore. Honda Accords and Civics tell a similar story, with well-maintained examples regularly reaching 200,000 to 250,000 miles, and the Honda Odyssey and Pilot showing similar durability in the SUV and minivan space despite carrying more weight and towing more cargo than a typical sedan. Volkswagen's high-mileage examples exist, but they are less common and tend to come with a more involved maintenance history along the way. A Jetta or Passat crossing 200,000 miles is achievable and has been documented plenty of times, but the owners who get there almost universally report more proactive maintenance, including preemptive water pump, timing chain tensioner, or mechatronic unit attention, than the equivalent Toyota or Honda owner needed to reach the same mileage. That doesn't mean Volkswagen can't go the distance. It means going the distance requires a more attentive and often more expensive maintenance approach than either Japanese competitor demands. International markets add useful evidence too. Toyota's global reputation for durability is reinforced by taxi and rideshare fleets across Africa, the Middle East, and parts of Asia, where Corollas and Hiluxes are run nearly non-stop for years and still regularly surpass 400,000 miles. Honda doesn't have quite the same global fleet presence, but its motorcycle and small engine divisions, built on the same underlying philosophy of simple, over-engineered reliability, have reinforced the brand's overall reputation for durability across markets where Honda products are pushed to their limits daily. Volkswagen's global reputation actually skews more toward performance and driving feel than outright longevity, which lines up with what the North American mileage data shows as well. Maintenance costs and total ownership expense. This is where the gap becomes financial, rather than just anecdotal. Repair cost studies consistently place Volkswagen well above both Toyota and Honda in average annual maintenance spending, driven by a combination of more complex components, pricier OEM parts, and a smaller network of independent shops equipped to handle European electrical and drivetrain diagnostics, compared to the mechanics who can service a Camry or Accord in nearly any town in the country. Toyota tends to edge out Honda slightly in long-term cost studies, though the margin between the two Japanese brands is far smaller than the gap either has with Volkswagen. Both benefit from wide parts availability, competitive independent shop pricing, and engines and transmissions that simply need less intervention to keep running well past the 150,000-mile mark that many other vehicles start struggling to reach. Insurance data offers a smaller but telling data point in the same direction. Comprehensive and mechanical breakdown insurance products, where offered, tend to price Volkswagen models at a premium compared to similarly sized Toyota or Honda models, reflecting actuarial data on claim frequency and repair cost that insurers have access to across millions of vehicles. That's not marketing or brand perception. It's a direct financial reflection of which vehicles cost more to keep running when something does go wrong. Resale value and what the market says. Resale value is the market's collective judgment on all of this, and it lines up almost exactly with the reliability data. Toyota and Honda both hold value exceptionally well, consistently ranking among the top brands in 5-year depreciation studies, with certain models like the Tacoma, 4Runner, and CR-V holding a remarkable percentage of their original price even at high mileage. Volkswagen depreciates faster than either Japanese competitor, a pattern that reflects buyer wariness about long-term ownership costs more than anything wrong with how the cars drive or feel when new. This creates an interesting dynamic for used car shoppers. A 5-year-old Volkswagen often costs meaningfully less than an equivalent Toyota or Honda, which can make sense for a buyer who values the driving experience and is prepared for closer maintenance attention. But it's a poor choice for anyone hoping to buy low mileage and hold the car for the long haul without surprises. Certified pre-owned programs reflect this same hierarchy. Toyota and Honda's CPO programs tend to carry longer powertrain warranty extensions relative to the base warranty, a decision that only makes financial sense for the manufacturer if the underlying failure rate on those components is genuinely low. Volkswagen's CPO warranty coverage, while still useful, is generally viewed by owners as a more necessary safety net, given the brand's higher documented rate of transmission and electrical claims within the typical 5 to 7 year ownership window that most CPO shoppers are buying into. The bottom line. So, which one clearly lasts the longest? Toyota takes the top spot, and it isn't particularly close when you average across full lineups and real ownership data. Its conservative engineering philosophy, simpler transmissions, and remarkably consistent electrical systems combine to produce the fewest surprises over the longest ownership periods. Honda comes in a close second, losing ground mainly through its earlier CVT issues and turbocharged engine hiccups. But its overall track record remains excellent, and its resale value nearly matches Toyota's. Volkswagen finishes last in this specific comparison, not because it builds bad cars, but because its complexity, particularly around the DSG transmission and European-sourced electronics, demands a level of maintenance attention and expense that neither Toyota nor Honda requires to reach the same mileage. None of this means you shouldn't buy a Volkswagen. If driving feel matters more to you than minimizing dealership visits, a well-maintained VW can absolutely go the distance, and plenty of owners happily accept the added maintenance attention as a fair trade for the way these cars drive. But if the question is purely which brand you can trust to keep running with the least intervention and the lowest long-term cost, the data points clearly toward Toyota first, Honda a close second, and Volkswagen a distant third. The practical takeaway for anyone shopping today is straightforward. If low-maintenance, worry-free ownership is the priority, Toyota remains the safest bet you can make, with Honda a very close and, in some ways, more engaging alternative. If a Volkswagen is what you actually want to drive, buy it with your eyes open, budget for a more attentive maintenance schedule, particularly around the DSG transmission and cooling system, and it can absolutely reward you with a driving experience neither Japanese competitor quite matches. Tell us in the comments which one you're driving and how many miles are on the clock, and subscribe for more honest longevity breakdowns like this one.